Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to wind off our series on Biology Paper 2 that was written in June 2023. We are going to answer all the questions, but in the examination, candidates are required to answer in 4 questions on the separate answer paper provided. Number 7A is reading. Describe the CEFIT rules in the handling of microorganisms in a laboratory. 6 marks. The first CEFIT rule that we are going to discuss is of washing hands thoroughly with soap following all lab activities. You should decontaminate the work surfaces before and after use and immediately after spills. It is not encouraged to eat, drink, or store food or smoke in the laboratory. You should cover any cuts on your hands with bandages. Protective personal equipment may be worn as extra protection. These include lab coats, gloves, safety shoes. You should dispose contaminated materials properly. There are so many safety rules that should be followed in handling of microorganisms in lab. I've just listed some of the safety rules. Let me summarize them again. You should wash hands thoroughly with soap following all lab activities. You should decontaminate work surfaces before and after use and immediately after spills. You should not eat, drink, store food or smoke in laboratory. You should cover any cuts on your hands with bandages. You should wear personal protective equipment such as disposable gloves, lab coats, safety shoes, masks, and also you should dispose contaminated materials properly. And then on part B, we are supposed to explain why learners and staff at a school should perform fire drills. First, I need to explain what we mean when we are saying fire drill. These are the practice of emergent procedures to be used in case of fire. Fire drills ensure that everyone is safe. So individuals will be aware of potential fire hazards and learn how to respond by identifying emergency exits and routes of evacuation. Quick and orderly evacuation helps minimize panic and injuries during an actual fire incident. Fire drills help schools to comply with regulation and standards. Schools effectively handle emergencies, reducing potential loss of life and property damages. Let me summarize the importance of fire drills at school. Fire drills ensure that everyone is safe. Individuals will be more aware of potential fire hazards and learn how to respond by identifying emergency exits and routes of evacuation. Quick and orderly evacuation helps minimize panic and injuries during an actual fire incident. Fire drills help schools to comply with regulation and standards. Schools effectively handle emergencies, reducing the potential loss of life and property damages. That was all about number 7. Let us move on to number 8. Number 8A, relate the property of water to its function as a solvent and then as a reagent. Water is called the universal solvent because it is capable of dissolving more substances than any other liquid. This is because of its polarity and ability to form hydrogen bonds. Water makes an excellent solvent, meaning that it can dissolve many different kinds of molecules. Let me explain again. Water is called universal solvent because it is capable of dissolving more substances. This is because of its polarity and ability to form hydrogen bonds. Water makes an excellent solvent, meaning that it can dissolve many different kinds of molecules. Next, I'm going to explain the property of water to its function as a reagent. The specific process whereby water acts as a reagent is hydrolysis. In the reaction, water acts as a molecule which can break the bonded structures between the larger molecules. Hydrolysis results in breaking down of the bonds between the molecules, resulting in production of simpler molecules. So this is the role of water as a reagent. It is going to be playing a role in the process of hydrolysis. The specific process where water acts as reagent is hydrolysis. Water acts as a molecule which can break the bonded structures between the larger molecules. It is going to result in production of simpler molecules. On number 8b, we are supposed to state any 4 uses of lipids in the board. So the lipids, they are used in the regulation of hormones. They provide a store of energy. They provide metabolic fuel. It is part of cell membrane. Lipids, they transmit nerve impulses. Lipids, they cushion vital organs. Lipids transport fat-soluble nutrients. Lipids maintain body temperature. So these are the functions of the lipids in the body. Let me repeat again the functions of lipids in the body. They are used in the regulation of hormones. They provide the store of energy. They transmit nerve impulses. They cushion vital organs. They transport fat-soluble nutrients. And also they are involved in the maintenance of body temperature. That was all about number 8. Let us move on to number 9. Number 9a, describe how tooth decay occurs. Millions of bacteria live in your mouth and they stick to your teeth in a soft build-up that is called plaque. These bacteria use sugar in food you eat to create energy. When turning the sugar to energy, bacteria in your mouth create acid as a waste product. So tooth decay begins when bacteria in your mouth make acids that attacks the tooth's surface, which is known as enamel. This can lead to a small hole in a tooth that is called a cavity. If tooth decay is not treated, it can cause pain, infection, and even the tooth loss. So in summary, tooth decay begins when bacteria in your mouth make acids that attack the tooth's surface, which is known as enamel. Tooth decay can start as a white dark spot on your tooth. This can lead to a small hole on tooth that is called cavity. If tooth decay is not treated, it can cause pain, infection, and even tooth loss. So that is how you obtain the 4 marks on number 9a. Let us move on to 9b. In 9b, we are supposed to explain how the use of toothpaste prevents tooth decay. So we are supposed to explain in a way that we get 6 marks. So in order to reduce the risk of tooth decay, toothpaste can contain. So in order to reduce the risk of tooth decay, Toothpaste that contain fluoride must be used. Fluoride is a compound that is added to toothpaste to reduce decay and cavities. Fluoride become incorporated into our teeth as they develop and make them more resistant to decay. After our teeth are formed, fluoride can reverse progress of early cavities. Fluoride incorporates itself into enamel weakened by acid attack, making the tooth more resistant to future acid attacks. It prevents the need for corrective dental treatment. Toothpaste contain mild abrasive which physically scrub away the plaque and feed debris without damaging the tooth enamel. On number 9b, we're supposed to explain how toothpaste reduces tooth decay. So in order to reduce the risk of tooth decay, toothpaste that contain fluoride must be used. Fluoride is a compound that is added to toothpaste to reduce decay and cavities. Fluoride become incorporated into our teeth as they develop and make them more resistant to decay. Fluoride can reverse the progress of early cavities. It incorporates itself into enamel weakened by acid attack, making tooth more resistant to future acid attacks. Toothpaste contain mild abrasives which physically scrub away the plaque and food debris without damaging the tooth enamel. So that was all about number 9. Let us move on to number 10. Number 10a is reading. Describe measures taken to conserve an endangered animal species. Let me repeat again. Describe measures taken to conserve an endangered animal species. First, I need to explain what we mean when we are saying endangered species. These are organisms whose number have reduced drastically, and if not conserved, it will become extinct. For example, Asian elephant, rhino, and white tiger. So in order to conserve these endangered species, we should avoid hunting and poaching. Government should enforce stricter laws to prevent people from poaching. And then pesticides and chemicals which cause damage to the environment should be avoided. We should plant native trees which will provide food to the animals. We should limit amount of plastics and recycling which can save endangered species. We should create protected areas. The government should set national parks. We should establish captive breeding programs. These programs aim to increase the population size of endangered species in a controlled environment with the ultimate goal of reintroducing them into the wild. We should educate people from young age about the importance of wild animals to maintain ecosystem and biodiversity. In summary, on number 10a, the measures taken to conserve an endangered animal species. First, the government should enforce stricter laws to prevent people from poaching and hunting. Planting native trees should be done, which will provide food to the animals. Government should set national parks. Establishment of captive breeding programs should be done. These programs aims to increase the population size of endangered species in a controlled environment with the ultimate goal of reintroducing them into the wild. Pesticides and chemicals which cause damage to environment should be avoided. Educating people from young age about the importance of wild animals to maintain ecosystem and biodiversity should be done. And then on 10B, we are supposed to explain how industrial effluent is a threat to biodiversity. Industrial effluents are discharged into water bodies without treatment and found to be the major source of toxic heavy metals such as chromium, copper, lead, iron, manganese, lead, zinc, etc. These non-biodegradable heavy metals have detrimental effects on living organisms. They harm or kill plants and animals, reducing biodiversity. Industrial wastewater destroy useful bacteria and other microorganisms present in soil. Industrial wastes are destroying natural habitat of many species and are responsible for wildlife extinction. Industrial waste and pollution can introduce invasive species that can outcompete native species, reducing biodiversity. Industrial activities can release nutrients into water bodies, which is known as eutrophication, leading to an overgrowth of algae and plants that can deplete oxygen in water, killing fish and other aquatic animals, reducing biodiversity. Industrial activities release sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide into air, which can lead to acid rain. Acid rain can acidify the soil and water, harming or killing plants and animals, reducing biodiversity. Let me summarize number 10B. We are supposed to explain how industrial effluent is a threat to biodiversity. It causes eutrophication. Nutrients are released into water bodies, leading to an overgrowth of algae and plants that depletes oxygen in water, killing fish and other aquatic animals, reducing biodiversity. It causes acid rain. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are released into air, leading to acid rain, which acidifies soil and water, harming or killing plant and animals, reducing biodiversity. Industrial waste introduce invasive species that outcompete native species, reducing biodiversity. Industrial effluents contain non-biodegradable toxic metals which harm or kill plants and animals, reducing biodiversity. So that was all about number 10. Let us move on to number 11. Number 11A, describe the role of microorganisms in the nitrogen cycle. 6 marks. Nitrogen cycle is a natural mechanism that recycles nitrogen in nature. When animals and plant dies, soil bacteria, fungus, and other decomposers, they break down the nitrogen molecules. The process is known as decomposition or ammonification. It is carried out by microorganisms. Nitrogen compounds are retained to soil in form of ammonia, nitrates, and nitrites by the activity of microorganisms. Bacteria in soil or plant roots convert nitrogen gas from environment into nitrogen molecules that plants can utilize in soil. The process is known as nitrification. Bacteria within nodules convert free nitrogen to nitrates, which the host plants use for growth. The process is known as nitrogen fixation. It is carried out by microorganisms. Let me explain number 11A. It is requiring us to describe the role of microorganisms in the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle is a natural mechanism that recycles nitrogen in nature. Microorganisms carries out the process that is known as ammonification. Legume plants such as clover, soya beans, and alfalfa form nodules on roots where nitrogen-fixing bacteria take nitrogen from air and convert it into ammonia. When animals and plant dies, soil bacteria, fungus, and other decomposers break down nitrogen molecules in a decomposition process to form ammonia. Animal waste, when decomposed, also return to earth as nitrates. Microorganism carries out nitrogen fixation, where free nitrogen is converted to nitrates, which can be used by host plants for growth. Microorganisms carries out denitrification, which converts nitrates back to nitrogen gas. Nitrifying bacteria convert ammonia to nitrates and nitrites through nitrification process. So these are the roles of microorganism in the nitrogen cycle. And then on number 11b, we are supposed to explain the causes of low plant species diversity in artificial ecosystems. Plant species are disappearing at an ever-fast rate due to human activities such as land use change, pollution, and climate change. Changes in land use, for examples, are deforestation, intensive monoculture, and urbanization. When we are talking about climate change, we explain it resulting in more frequent and intense droughts, which result in low plant species. And then when we are explaining about pollution, we talk about the chemical in air pollution, damaging and killing crops, leading to food shortages. And then we also talk about invasive alien species. It means that species which become established in natural or same natural ecosystem as an agent of change and threatens native biological diversity. They act as predators, hindering growth of native soil species, competing for food and space. On number 11b, we're supposed to explain the causes of low plant species diversity in artificial ecosystems. So first, there is climate changes. They cause low plant species diversity as it results in more frequent and intensive droughts, which results in low plant species. Changes in land use such as deforestation, intensive monoculture, and urbanization, they result in low plant species. Chemicals in air pollution damage and kill crops, leading to food shortages, and low plant species. And then invasive alien species, they act as predators, hindering growth of native species, competing for food and space. That was all about number 11. Let us go to the final question, which is number 12. Number 12a, describe any three causes of diseases. First, I'm going to define what is a disease. A disease is a condition that deteriorates the normal functioning of cells, tissues, and organs. Agents that cause disease fall into 5 categories. We have viruses. The viruses, they cause diseases such as AIDS, human papillomavirus, and then we have bacteria. Bacteria is going to cause diseases such as cholera. We have fungi. Fungi causes diseases such as candidiasis. And then we have protozoa. It causes disease such as malaria. So protozoa and worms are grouped together as parasites, while yeast, viruses, bacteria, fungi are subject of microbiology. And then on B part 1, we are supposed to differentiate between an infectious disease and non-infectious disease. Infectious diseases are caused by harmful organisms that get into your body from outside, like viruses and bacteria. And then non-infectious diseases are caused by genetics, anatomical differences, and getting older. On B part 2, we are supposed to state one example of an infectious disease. We have chickenpox, measles, mumps, AIDS, cholera, flu. There are so many different examples of infectious disease. And then non-infectious diseases examples, we have cancers, diabetes, stroke, heart failure, asthma, and other diseases. So this marks the end of our tutorial today on section B of Biology paper 2 that was written in June 2023. Thank you so much, guys, for following me on this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos. This is Eve signing out.